Hey guys, Shinlock's here, back with our blind playthrough of Stasis. With me today is Jack. I have him in the lab. I have him here in the lab because he was, because he wanted to be sitting under the chair, and I just figured that wouldn't fly. So we're here, wherever here is, and we're gonna have to get into this power cell at some point. I don't know for what. Okay, so let's go through the door to start with.
Warning. Halothane hepatotoxicity is at an elevated level.
Oh. Halothane hepatotoxicity, so it's like your liver's being poisoned. That's what hepato is, liver. Like the hepatic vein. Anyway, so it looks like we go through there, and then there's... It's really hard to see. The contrast is not... Dark is good. Being hard to see things is not good. If that makes sense, right? You know, hard to see is like a design issue. That's why the lights on stuff helps. Okay, so we gotta go.
Halothane hepatotoxicity is at an elevated level.
Okay, so we're out of its direct line of sight. Is that what you have to do? Is it gonna... Oh, I see. Okay, so it goes back and forth, and if it sees you in the hallway itself, then you're good. Or then you're dead. So, birthing laboratory, one of Kane Corporation's best kept secrets. Yeah. Project Seed, that's gross. Mutagen laboratory. The sheeted canopy leads to a facility named the Mutagen laboratory. Yeah, I gathered that. Okay. Robot. Black Void. Void is seemingly endless, no beginning or end. We have a sink. Not even a handprint marks the surface of the sparkling clean sink. It might be the type with a built-in cleaning drone. But it looks like the floor... Well, that's above us, anyway. Power pad. Technology that provides an energy boost for heavy-duty equipment. And there's some sort of force field or laser door anyway, and it's an airlock. Okay. Oh, and we can't go down here. That's interesting. But there is a platform. Which is what? Doesn't say. Oh, it would be nice if it... Oh, no, it probably goes up. So you probably have to sneak by it or something, but you can't do anything with these, it seems. So we could go to the Mutagen lab. We could go to the... nothing of any use can be gained from the empty crates that litter this area. Mutagen or birthing lab. Let's go to the birthing lab. Let's click on the sink first. The stainless steel sink stands out after the successive levels of hell you've traversed. It's equipped with a variety of cleaning agents that are presumably safe for skin. Alright.
The words. I can't even...
What do you see?
What kind of a monster would do this? These women, these poor women. This is torture. This is...
Science.
So she knows about it. Pregnant woman. They don't look... I mean, maybe it's Uncanny Valley stuff, but they don't really look like women. Their heads look more like aliens. But they're naked. Okay, so where am I? I'm right there, I guess. Let's see, seated in the chair is a woman in her mid-30s, head shaved, limbs atrophied, tumescent in pregnancy. She's connected to a machine that feeds and sedates her. And this one has, like, blood on it. She's trying to communicate, but her words are a little more than slurred vowels. Her throat is dry. She is clearly extremely weak. You remember seeing Renaissance-era sculptures of nuns in Holy Communion, their eyes rolled back, bodies contorted in ecstatic agony? There's a hint of that expression across this unconscious woman's face. A division of Kane Corporation. Bloated fetus. The thing inside the incubator is anathema to nature. The poor creature should not exist, and what life it shows is reluctant and painful. Machinery. Although it is only a wall of gauges, they cluster and protrude like the offspring birthed on a Suriname toad's back. Oh yeah, those things are nightmare creatures. If you haven't seen one of these toads, it's a toad that gives birth through its back. Have you ever seen the movie Gremlins? Yeah. That's basically how they do it. Hybrid fetus. An organic pulsating fluid sac holds the fetus. An external placenta. There is something noticeably peculiar about this artificial placenta. On closer inspection, there are tiny, ragged apertures across its surface, almost as if it's been eaten at from within. Okay. There's a calmness about the suspended womb, but the pungent smell of amniotic fluid makes prolonged observation unbearable. The sac of organic matter sways peacefully in its slumber, punctuated by pulsating movement from within. Fluid sac rocks gently to and fro, containing neither human nor animal, but a medical marvel nonetheless. The awful engorged placenta hangs like a ripened fruit. Yeah, that's pretty gross. The horror of this enlarged fetus sac is matched only by the horror within its fleshy walls. So, part of the worst part of this is we can interact with these power cell. Portable gurney. Disconnecting these poor women from the machines and wheeling them away on this gurney would be an easy choice if it weren't for the fact that such an act would surely kill them. Well... Are they living? I mean, I know they're alive, but is basically being reduced to being an object living. You know what I mean? Is that being alive? A wheeled stretcher to transport the sick and injured easily, but to where? I mean, they're basically dead already, which is weird. So are the animals not coming here? I don't know. Let's try clicking on one of these things.
These women must have families and lives.
You can't do anything for them now. Soon this ship will run out of oxygen. They won't be in pain for much longer.
A second in this place is more torture than anyone should bear.
I mean, they might be high as fuck. You know, that's entirely possible too. So they might be sort of enjoying it in a weird way. The smell of almonds wafts from the viscous stream of fluid. Why? But also the whole dying from mist. A fine mist sprays down, anointing the bodies of the women below. What does that mean? I mean, I know what anointing is, but why are they misting the women? Yeah, dying from lack of oxygen is a terrible way to go. My understanding is. So let's click on all the pregnant women in turn, because it says you can interact. Oh, see. So he's going to say something about each of them, I guess?
Just breathe in and out.
Oh, what are you doing, dude?
Soon you'll wake up from this.
Well, I mean, he's probably like the everyman, you know.
I'm here to help.
What did I just do?
I'm gonna help you. Just close your eyes.
You can help them by blowing their brains out. Fluid drainage. A strange black goop from the birthing table drains away into the floor. Okay, so I just got a bandage? That's what was on her neck? Why? Well, okay, so there's the power cell. Let's click on this, see if we can do anything with it. Oh.
This isn't gonna work.
High temperature slug gun. I wish I knew what it was. Like, that's kind of the thing. If it had some sort of description and I could be like, you know, maybe it's like, oh, you use it on the rope. Oh, wait, hang on. What's this over here? Portable defibrillator. Defibrillator is used in the case of birth complications.
A defibrillator. And it looks like it's fully charged.
What do I do with it, though? Portable windows, a room with a view. Okay. You have to do something with the power cell, but what? Let's run through here, into the mutagen lab. What? What? Like, what the hell is this? Pulsating mass of flesh and bone. A hideous agglomeration of flesh and bone. Limbs jut haphazardly from its mass. It sports a human head that gurgles out of sync with the pulsing of its other parts. Wow, that really high-pitched noise is annoying as hell, so we're gonna... I don't know what we're supposed to do here, but I need to figure it out quickly before I go insane. This must be where diagnostics for experiments are reviewed. Conjoined twin hybrids. Share one brain. Doesn't seem the brain's up to the task of coordinating movement between the two bodies. There's another power cell. Lithium-ion fuel cell. Overgrown hybrid. Appalling distended creature appears to be a hybrid, although of what is unknown. Not completely human, that much is absolutely certain. Readout tracks factors like equipment feedback and resistance thresholds. Computer terminal, but I can't do anything with it. Large infant skeleton. Must have been a very large infant. Preserved conjoined twins. Corpse of a creature hangs preserved. It may have been a twin. Two heads are fused together and a pair of spines meets. Each spine wraps around the other like a gnarled mountain range. Wow, that's... Liquid nitrogen canister? Canister of liquid nitrogen feeds the surrounding specimen containers. Standard looking human skeleton. Conjoined mass. One of the failed experiments, a lump of organs held together by a wrinkled skin. Bone pokes through the flesh in spots. Splayed open human body. Yeah, that's always wonderful. Do medical schools ever feature bodies that so grossly exhibit their internal organs? Maybe. Eviscerated corpse. In the aftermath of this body's evisceration, you can't tell whether its legs were removed or whether it ever had any. Readout screens. Result of various tests, which you don't understand, flash across the screen in a blur. Screens are replete with analytical data about the subjects around you. Alright, so we have a PDA. And it looks like we can interact with the terminals and the liquid nitrogen. Let's click. Oh, there's another PDA up here.
How can we allow this?
This is the purpose of the groomling. It's not on Earth. I can't see it, so they don't care.
What if they knew?
So what?
Okay, so I got... Oh, I see, there's more. Oh, cool, okay. Liquid nitrogen canister. Yeah, see, she knows about all this stuff. The question is, who is she? What is she doing? Let's click on the power cell. So this one's twisted in a different direction. But I can't use the slug gun. Okay, let's try the terminals.
If they were more open, this wouldn't happen.
Open to who? The people? Governments?
Other corporations.
At what cost?
A bit of our humanity, I suppose.
I don't quite understand that conversation. If they were more open, this wouldn't happen. If they were more open to other corporations? I don't know what that means. Anyway, seed. And now that I know the drawings are important, it's like, it looks like a gun shooting... I don't know if that's a robot or what that's supposed to be. Am I supposed to use the slug gun on the robot? Probably. Okay, hybrid reject by C. Williams. During the autopsy of Hybrid 604, there were signs of renal failure. It appears the kidneys were unable to process amino acids required for the breakdown of nutrients. Damage to the liver, stomach, and intestines show the same degenerative patterns. It is possible the report of the mother giving birth 3 months prior was an error. Further reports regarding the failure of mutagenic compounds will be finalized later. So they were doing this instead of, and then the cloning vat thing happened, and they were good with that. Okay, hybrid reject C. Subject died during birth. Can only be surmised death was due to a failing in the host, as all reports and tests leading up to the birth showed no signs of fetal defect. Upon further investigation of the woman's medical history, it was noted she experienced complications when giving birth to a child previously. This host would not have been used had this been highlighted. In light of her medical history, I now assume this was the cause of the fetal distress and death of the subject. Host is being kept alive and has undergone 1 transfusion. Recommendation: revoke host life support, order, and dispose of body with hybrid reject C. Hybrid reject 811. Dr. Milan. Slug gun operator's manual. Yeah, so we probably have to use it on the robot. Highly unusual form of rejection such as has not been observed before manifested in this hybrid. It is entirely possible mutagenic compounds used to synthesize the hybrid DNA was faulty in this particular instance. Usually with any rejection there's a sign of initial bonding and then a breakdown, but in this case there was absolutely no bonding attempted whatsoever. Given the thoroughness with which we create the DNA, I suspect the centrifuge machine for this particular batch was faulty. Repair and a maintenance check of the machine is ordered immediately. Recommendation: destroy what remains and also destroy the fetus. Alright, well let's check. So how, I guess through the elevator is how the dude got here, but he can't get here anymore. Alright, so we'll read the PDAs. Dr. Marvin DeSantos. Man, that bitch from shipping won't get off my back. You fuck a girl real good and she just comes crawling back. If she doesn't get out of my hair, I'll have her moved off ship. Dr. Milan is a prick, but he looks after me like that. I gotta say, being on Project Seed is awesome, man. Okay, so we gotta do some pretty noxious shit, but in exchange I got a lot of protection and an honorary title, Dr. DeSantos. I like it. Dr. Milan knows about my contacts and private cargo that arrives on board, and I know he hates it, but there ain't nobody else prepared to work under Dr. Backman. That guy's one twisted fuck and also one of my best customers. I get imports, sure, but my own private lab is what manufactures Backman's pathway shit. Funny, I never realized how dependent these smartasses of science are on drugs. Personally, never touch the stuff. You gotta have your wits about you, man, especially around here. Yeah, the whole 24-hour shifts, like for emergency medicine with the ERs and stuff. The doctor that started that was a coke fiend, and he was basically like, you have to keep up with me in order to make it through this program. And so, I mean, no one knew when it became tradition, but yeah, so it's all a cokehead that did it, and they keep it going because whatever reasons, you know. Wow, Dr. Williams, Charlotte. I never would have figured that uptight woman was a slut, but holy hell, she just gave me the ride of my fucking life. Who'd have thought it? Slinky laced under that lab coat of hers, and for a woman in her mid-40s, a body that makes you want to get on your knees and howl at the moon. Against the table, pressed up against the viewport windows, on top, underneath, like a frickin' rattlesnake. Of course she's Looney Tunes. Probably thinks I'm her dead husband or something. Like I care, as long as she keeps coming to me to fulfill her needs. Crazy but smart, and has no idea how much I know about her little project. I saw the details. People just think I'm a smack-talking smartass, but I've been training on the Groom Lake since I was 16. I studied chemistry and genetics, aced all of it too. She thinks I'm too stupid to understand. September 9. I think I could have got myself in too deep here. The drug thing was fine, but this whole industrial espionage thing is kind of freaky. I don't think Dr. Milan knows. I know Lincoln watches me with an eagle eye, but he can't know for sure. If he did, he'd eject my ass from the ship with the rest of the failed hybrids. But goddamn, the money is good. I earned my year's salary by sending some info to Black Star Industries. My contact gave me more money than I could conceive for a leak in one report. I met the guy while I was on leave. He was a smug dickhead who somehow knew what I did, and then he flashed the cash. I've got no loyalties to the company, and I know how Dr. Milan treats loyal staff. That guy can turn on a dime when it suits him. I've heard of weird shit going on down in the decks below, and Seed has me feeling it'll soon be time to get the hell out of Dodge pronto. 1 or 2 reports might just give me what I need. Yeah, exactly. When you think the time is coming up, it's, you know, might have been... See, where he's like, things are gonna go bad soon, I gotta get out of here, but just a little bit more. That's, yeah. Nobody knows about my little acts of espionage, but who'd care? The ship is falling apart. Some of those fucked up things that Bachman and Milan made are on the prowl. I stashed away my cash as soon as I heard things were going wrong, but money ain't gonna make a spit's worth of difference if we all get killed here. Milan's taking this all way too calmly. Actually, I'd say he's enjoying all this. He came into the lab this morning, he still makes us all report to the lab, and was grinning the whole damn time, his eyes all red, like he was coming down from a high. That guy does not need drugs for a high. His general fucked upness is what he rides. And here was me thinking Bachman was the crazy one. Yeah, I mean, he's probably a sociopath. Or, you know, gets off on, like, torturing people or the power trip or whatever. February 1. It's just us. Oh god, not even Bachman's around now. Charlotte was dragged away to the labs a few days ago. We're sealed off from the other decks. I reckon it's only a matter of time before Milan decides to do something about me too. I've been living on the ship for years. I know about hidden passages that even Milan doesn't know about. I'll get over to the communications array and let off a signal. Hopefully they'll get to us before Dr. Milan finds out. So everything went to hell around December time frame. Yeah, November. Hang on. Okay, so end of November is when it started. So he made it a couple of months, month and a half, something like that. So we're in March, probably. Let's check out this PDA. I don't know, we just came in here for the nitrogen. I assume we have to use the slug gun on the robot. Okay, Dr. Bachman, January 16. They said I'd never make it to 60. Ha! 85, you fuckers. Old and still cooking with gas. 3 bastard kids and I outlived them all. Okay, so I was young when I had them. The girls never even knew I was the father, of course. I just switched the DNA sample so they didn't know the little shits were mine. I'm too old for now for all that, but you never completely lose your eye for the ladies. I might have false teeth, Dr. Milan, but I'm no moron. For the good of humanity, I'm a sociopath, an alleged rapist of women. Very little speech to the crew was less sincere than anything I could say with a straight face. At least you know how to turn a blind eye. Whenever I have to get rid of troublesome subjects, right, Milan? New gas for the chambers is working splendidly. An improved kill rate of 60% on the old formula. I watch all those poor fuckers writhe and die. We have a viewing window now, just so we can make sure it's done. If I were a moral man, I'd call it perverse. It's lucky for Project Seed that I couldn't give a shit. I thrive when I don't have to answer to everyone with a conscience. This will not do at all. I need more subjects. The rejection rate of the DNA splicing is stratospheric. So not only do I need more bodies, but I need better ones. They bring me imports and strays, but the best results are achieved with crew members. One cannot prey too often on those, of course, no matter the need. My chosen ones were always those who wouldn't be missed. The furnaces are inadequate for my disposal requirements. I'm told they're so hot they could destroy dark matter. They seem slow to respond when burning flesh, though, and the smell is hardly pleasant either. Reminds me of that injured dog I found as a little boy growing up in Missouri. Looked at me with pleading look, the kind a sick patient gives the doctor they trust absolutely. Naturally, I stomped on the mongrel's head. It was a mercy. There are too many in society who have a similarly damaged disposition. It's a kindness to snuff out the worthless lives. So the thing is, I'm sure he didn't do it as a mercy. He did it because he found pleasure in killing. Because there's ways to be merciful. And honestly, I don't know, we gotta get done with this, but I don't know how I feel about the whole mercy killing thing. You know? I must get more pathway. That little prick DeSantos is usually more than forthcoming with its ingredients, but he says his own suppliers are having problems. I know you, DeSantos. I know you're not a real doctor. I know the kind. I have 5 PhDs. I could tell when men have been hired for their instincts rather than their knowledge. Meanwhile, the cutting and splicing continues. Oh, and Charlotte, we all know about your little experiment, you stupid bitch. First she kills her partner by accidentally exposing him to a lethal virus, and then she goes gaga for him. That's the sort of beautiful incompetence that slays me. I spent years perfecting the art of the kill, making a murder appear a mishap. And she went and did it all completely by accident. What perfect nonsense. And then she goes gaga for him? Like she's a necrophiliac? I held his subject down today and used my surgical hammer to cave in his windpipe. Then I gouged out his eyes and tried to rip his jaw from its socket. My goodness, what an outburst. I'm becoming careless. I need more pathway. Dr. Milan is starting to worry that my tendencies cannot be controlled. He need not worry. I'm still focused on seed. Seed is still just that, a seed. But this chrysalis will soon break open and blossom. The successfully bred Homo novi wait in their... Is that new? De novo? Or something? Oh. De novo. Okay. Novi is plural of novo, I guess. Wait in their containment cells while their unsuccessful brethren, reduced to a viral mulch that's already breached the containment seals of the ship, grow. Oh, really? That's the fungus? Its genetic makeup might be a little more than trash, but is astoundingly tenacious. I have to respect that which kills with such efficiency. I woke up in the emergency room today. Somebody found me on the stairs. I can't remember much. What I do know is both my fucking legs are up in casts. I better get comfortable because Dr. Graham says I'll be in here for at least a month. We die as the Novi cut us down, but I'm not ready to be replaced by new species. Our creations are impressive, but I don't share Milan's fanaticism for what is happening here. I must try to make sure one of the lifeboats is available to me. A shame there was not another for that delectable young thing. What was her name? Callister? I would have liked to have her around when the ship was going to hell. She's dead, however. How unfortunate. I may be old, but I'll tear anyone who tries to stop me from leaving a part at the limbs. I've survived police investigations, court cases, vengeful spouses, and idealistic lab hands. I will gut any shitbag trying to prevent my escape. That includes you, Milan. I will jab out your eyeballs and eat them before I submit to you. Oh, interesting. So Milan's trying to keep everyone on board, huh? Alright, well, we got the, Now let's get out of the frickin'... Okay, I'm here. I'm going to save. We'll save in a minute. Oh, hello. Oh, really? That's, Is it glitched? Okay, hang on. Let's, Yeah, okay. So it's a timing related thing, because I used on him, he's just like casually walking. I'm like, okay. Okay, let's wait. And it's a weird... the musical sting. I don't know. So we need to do something with those power conduits and stuff? I don't know. Oh, come on! Wasn't it looking the other way? Did I screw that up? Jack, baby, you're so cute. The shapeless maw of the unlit void. Maybe it needs to start walking? Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna look at the guide. Because... okay. Because I need to know if I'm screwing up the timing on this. Or if I'm doing it completely wrong, right? Toolbox, high temperature slug gun, trolling security robot, As long as the robot is farther away. Get rid of the robot. Go to the birthing lab. Portable defibrillator. Get the bandage. Use the bandage with the sink. Use the sink to have the water running and spilled water. Oh. Use the portable defibrillator on the spilled water to fry its circuits. Okay. Oh. Go to the deactivated sentry tariffs. Okay. Okay, I guess that actually makes more sense, but it sees you. Okay. And then use the portable defibrillator. Spilled. No. Oh, come on. You know, it's silly because like I can't. It's really hard to see. Also, it's sparkling. It's sparkling, so they knew it was hard to see, but maybe I can use it on this spilled water. Deactivated sentry robot. Sentry robot sits motionless as a wisp of smoke twirls from the burning CPU. I don't, I mean, I don't know if it actually would have worked like that.
Easy does it. God, just hate it. Out. Got it.
But, you know, fine. That's fine. Spilled water. Liquid from the overflowing sink has splashed onto the floor, pooling on the polished floor. Alright, let's, assume we use the elevator platform. Elevator was constructed to lower its passengers quickly into the thick darkness below. Okay, there's another sink. There's a power pad.
Warning. The oxygen atmosphere generating system is no longer functioning. Product failure is imminent.
Product failure, yeah, like the life support pods and all that stuff. Let's save. Okay, so now the question is, what do we do? I'm gonna pull up the. I'm using the guide again. I don't care. I care, but I don't care. You know? Okay, where? Okay. Chair for some twisted metal, mutagen lab, liquid nitrogen canister. Upper level is an airlock. Liquid nitrogen canister. Place it against the airlock. Use the high temperature slug gun to blast it open. Okay. It's funny because it's like first off, it's an airlock, so I wouldn't assume that you'd want to just blast it open. Wait, did I not get, Oh, it's... okay. It doesn't count? It didn't count us getting the tank? Oh, come on.
This is the purpose of grouping. It's not on Earth. People can't see it, so they don't care.
What if they knew?
So what?
I mean, so here's the thing, right? People are like, oh, if they could see it, they'd care, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, you realize slavery is legal on Earth right now, right? And I'm not talking about wage slavery, although that's an issue as well. I'm talking about there's like actual open air slave markets in the Middle East. Right? So all those people that are like, you're an Islamophobe. Oh, you're an Islamophobe. It's like, hey, I mean, they're selling people into slavery, and these are the people that you want to bring over here? And I say they're bad people, and you defend them. You know? Anyway. Okay, and then the high temperature slug gun on the airlock, I suppose. Oh. Okay. Well, see, that's the thing. That makes sense. It makes sense that you have to stand on the power pad to use it. I didn't realize that. Okay. Oh. What the hell is that thing right there? A hybrid? Okay, so I'm right there. So, yep, okay. Is this a... That's another corridor, I guess. Fluid drainage, PDA. Room design wisely included 2 fluid drains. It has fallen from the operating table only to crawl around in aimless peregrination, no doubt delirious. I assume that's pain. Conjoined hybrid fused at the spine. It appears immobile, but its heads frequently scan the room. Healthy organism. The creature strains at its bindings. It seems healthy, though judging by the fury in its eyes, it's far from pleased. Emaciated, starving organism. Body is waste away to little more than sinew. Protective plastic sheeting spans many of the operating bays, not for modesty purposes, but to limit the splatter range. Tiny hybrid. It is tiny, clinging onto life by only the finest thread. It is not pleasant sights to watch something so small on the fine line between life and death. Withered hybrid. Both bodies barely show signs of life. You know, that's the thing. It's like, this place has gone to hell 3 months ago. How are these things still alive? The machine attached to the drip is on and configurable, although it is far from ready to use. Strapped down hybrid. It's moving but seemed to be unaware of its surroundings, or could simply have accepted its fate. Some machinery has been shut off and tucked out of the way. Strapped down hybrid, a frighteningly thin creature courtesy of Kane Corporation. Alright, well, let's check out the PDA. The PDA and then the terminal. Dr. Charlotte M. Williams. Oh, Francis, I still lie awake at night thinking of you. You haunt my dreams, my nightmares, and my fantasies. We found love, dear. Even when we worked in Kane's Sydney lab, creating viral strains that could turn a human inside out, we loved and made love. Ours was a match made in heaven. We worked on only the most exciting viruses and pathogens. Our work together was a Mozart requiem, a piece of perfection. My work now is a pale imitation of what it once was. Oh, Francis. How long ago was it now? It must be 10 years, but it feels like only yesterday. You were too sick to transfer to the Groom Lake when I did. You died just as I took up my post, but don't fret, my angel. I've begun concocting a way of bringing you back to life. I always called you my little Frankenstein, do you remember? Shredding the boundary between life and death was always your ultimate goal. Well, now with Project Seed entering its second phase, my plans can finally be put into practice. The laboratories are off limits between 2 and 4 a.m., so that's when I work. Naturally, I prepare all the calculations and machine settings in my quarters. I keep the subject under a false name in one of the pods. So far, not even Dr. Milan knows what I'm doing. Yeah, the scream is like whatever. Each major laboratory operation I perform takes no more than an hour, and I always erase the machine records at the end of each one. I'm using your DNA, my darling. With the enhanced regenerative abilities of the genetic material we've already synthesized for Seed, you'll be reborn, but you'll be impervious to physical degeneration, immune to sickness and pain. I'll have done what you wanted and made you perfect, and And when you step healthy, unblemished, and reconstituted from your glass womb, you'll never leave me again. Things have felt strange lately. My work continues, but I swear, darling Francis, I could feel you watching me. I'm trying to work longer hours to complete the new and reborn you, but it's not easy. Harvin already had a look of some of my work, I'm sure, as if he'd have any concept of what I'm trying to achieve anyway. I still wonder, my darling, why you cursed me as you died. You knew it was an accident. You know, I know you remember that. It wasn't murder. I've never committed a murder, not even when we tested that pathogen on those troublesome neighbors. It was an experiment. How were we to know they'd choke to death on their own innards? I suppose death was a possibility, but that's science. I fear for your continued life. I'm afraid Malin knows. Milan, whatever. Who else knows? Have they contaminated you? I'll run extra tests to make sure your code is not flawed or altered in any way. I'm anxious. I've started scratching my arms badly. At this rate, I may end up looking like that leprous toad, Backman. Oh, my dearest Francis, I have failed you. Malin knows. He confronted me about it directly. He wants me to make you just like them. I cannot have you crawling on all fours like some dog in the street. The very idea offends me. I'll protect you with my life. You'll be reborn. I swear this on my life. Okay. So what does the terminal do? Birth reports. Lana, Daryl, Frederick, and Nay. Let's see. Host, Tara McCormick, First Lieutenant, Marine Liaison. Rambunctious. Subject appears to have inherited her mother's powerful physical build and latent aggression. Lana has the makings of an excellent alpha female candidate. Move Lana to a group cell as isolation appears to promote irritability. Subject host Willow Brody, Nurse Medical Deck. Quiet but intelligent. Attempted to pick the lock on his cell yesterday but failed to escape. Excellent puzzle-solving skills, and while not especially aggressive, has a strong build. A thinker, clearly. Marie Maxwell, non-crew member, caterer from Phobos. Subject shows little of his mother's solid frame, but is a superb hunter. Stalks and learns tactics by observing the others. Appears to be developing a strong tactical mind. Okay. Ellen Miracek, space tourist. One to watch. Cunning, extraordinarily fast and dangerous. Appears to prefer isolation as attempted pairings result in fatalities. Takes an alpha role easily. Dominates the other Novi. A definite candidate for Lana's mate. Alright, let's see what is this way. Loading. Okay. I don't know what the hell I'm looking at here. Okay, glass wall. That observation wall is stained top to bottom with an unpleasant array of sticky, dried substances. Like cum? Is that what it is? Plastic surgical curtains. The beginning of a private surgical bay, although close inspection reveals nothing of great interest. Mainframe. Computer hums with activity, processing petabytes of essential body data. Surprisingly antiquated considering the surroundings, but then appearances can be deceiving. A freestanding data hub made for pharmaceutical companies. When this much data needs processing, overheating is common. These machines must use nitrogen-based coolant to keep the computer systems running smoothly. An array of computer screens hangs above. A complex user rig is dormant and awaiting a trained medical technician. What would require such intense monitoring from this highly technical rig? Okay, so we have a PDA. Oh, it looks like there's a ramp going down. Couple PDAs and a open power cell housing. Life support machinery. Its pulse seems steady. This machine charts the heartbeat of the wretch strapped to the table. Surgical laser. A new remotely operated surgical model and utterly lethal in the wrong hands. It could split steel just as easily as it does flesh. The monitors are dark, only to be awakened when it is time for an operation. That's all of them. Strapped down creature. The creature squirms in its medical restraints. Great black eyes and a sunken gray face glare with malice. Alright, let's check the PDA first. The 2 PDAs and then, or... yeah, I guess so.
Don't go any further. I'm warning you now.
How could you do this?
I do with my children as I see fit.
It's barbaric.
Spare me the pity of the righteous. Your daughter owes her life to me.
What do you know about Rebecca?
ARG was good on this ship, Mr. Malachek. Cancer, HIV, Ebola. I eliminated them all. Her life is mine to do with as I choose. Oh yes, I know about everything, Johnny boy. I know about your daughter and all about your wife. You are accountable.
Jammed his signal, John. You need to hurry. We're close.
Okay, so is this his daughter? I mean, I assume she's already been experimented on, but he's like, oh, I know, you're accountable, and it's like, what? The problem, I have no idea. Is there going to be some grand reveal, like they're dead, they're actually dead the whole time or something, or I don't know. Okay, Dr. Milan. New Year begins, the wheel turns, and the Groom Lake continues to lead the vanguard of scientific discovery for all of humankind, yet I feel dissatisfied. Even as the peons who work under me celebrate the new year, I wonder why. Why would you celebrate such an asinine concept as an outdated Gregorian calendar on a ship that's currently swimming through the depths of space? The reason is clear: comfort. They fear the unknown, the alien, the impossible. I do not. I embrace the unforgiving cosmos with open arms. The problem with the research we do is the humans doing it, constrained as they are by conscience, remorse, and sometimes even fear. We try to grasp the infinite and give it a framework that ill-fits its cosmic splendor. This is my 10th year as Special Projects Director for Kane Corporation. Despite my discoveries and quest for knowledge, I'm held back at every turn by paperwork, moralizing scientists, and the group of degenerate toadies that I sit on the board with. If I were rid of them, then my word would be God, my word, not the word of a corporation. Still, they have their uses. The research is funded by Kane, and the Groom Lake is kept running by the money and personnel they provide. But the time will come when all this changes. You mark my words. Whoa. I'm inundated with emails from all departments about inconsistencies with storage and contaminated samples. This grand masquerade is sometimes more tedious than it's actually worth. Worst of all was Dr. Wei and that technician, Miss Callister, is it? I normally make short work of such troublemakers, but it hardly seems worthwhile. Troublemakers must be allowed to make trouble, because if they disappear, that legitimizes their claims, and somebody will always take up the fallen Crusader's torch. Dr. Bachman's tendencies are becoming harder to restrain. I'm well aware of his shortcomings. The old man is as brilliant as he is deranged, yet manages to go about his work with a sociopathic glee. He's useful to have around. He has requested more bodies for seeds, specifically more women who are recently pregnant. That is problematic, as we have very few such women on board, and imports are not easy to come by. We may have to play this one under the radar. That fool, Dr. Gray, complained yet again about his beloved insects becoming more aggressive as a result of the power outages. So what? Let them spill out onto the decks as far as I'm concerned. The importance of seed outranks the hydroponics project by 1,000 to 1. I do like playing chess with Dr. Gray, of course. I win every time, a little fact he's unlikely to tell anyone. although he does seem quite happy to contact anyone who's interested, with the opinion that he'd be the next best candidate for my job. Sebastian, you could not handle what I do. If you believe otherwise, then you're as great a fool as I imagine you to be. When that day that I foresee comes, your rotting corpse will be under my feet, and I will laugh. Dr. Williams is still under the delusion I don't know about her personal research. Officially, it's illegal for staff to conduct their own research, but this is interesting. Recreating her dead lover in the form of a hybrid. How fascinating. If it works, I'll make use of it. If it doesn't, then it'll burn with the rest of the rejects. The woman is obsessed, and I know DeSantos is playing no small part in defeating her delusions. I know her secret research won't cause me any problems, or I would never would have allowed her on Project Seed. So, it seems contaminated waste from the corpse disposal overspill is contaminating the ship. It's causing fungal growths, or so my various drones tell me. The fungus is a riveting proposition, though. While I'm angry at Dr. Backman for terminating more subjects than strictly necessary, these unintended side effects are fascinating. I intimate as much to Dr. Gray, and of course stroked his ego with hints of promotion and glory. He'll keep the fungus alive. The engineers want it destroyed, but I'm sure we can delay that. This experiment is becoming more engaging by the day, and I haven't even had to lift a finger. So while they clog up my inbox with demands and Rome burns, I plan to play the violin. We're more than secure here anyway. This has a certain inevitability about it. I must record this daily development as the experiment grows. It is as I foresaw. Panic, destruction, and mayhem, and yet Seed continues apace. Once the fervor and the flame dies down, we'll sweep the decks of detritus and repurpose all of it for my beautiful hybrid creations. No more growing plants for the good of mankind. God is no longer in the machine, my friends. I am God. My beautiful children have excelled themselves. They kill, they learn, they adapt. A primal species without any of the trappings of morality. It's their time now. They almost came to be once, many years ago, but were snuffed out by humanity, afraid of its natural successors. This systematic extermination was given a name, the Eugenics Wars. The public knew it as corporate warfare. In truth, it was a coordinated genocide. Humanity wasn't ready for Professor Jaron's astounding discovery and sought to destroy it. His work was not perfect, of course. That's where I came in. I spent most of my life as part of Kane, trying to access Professor Garen's original work. Old Man Kane pushed me to the top because we shared an ideal, utilization of science for the perfection of humanity. Where we differed was the methods by which this was to be achieved. Not that he had much more to say after I held that pillow to his face as he lay in his hospital bed, all for a higher purpose. Creation of our species from raw subjects will become impossible now that the crew are dead, dying, or unclean, but that's hardly an issue. Any subjects who are flawed or imperfect have been turned into the fertilizer that will nurture the perfection of the surviving race. Now the challenge is moving the Groom Lake out of range of any other ships. No one can be allowed to escape the ship alive. Any good, strong survivors will become members of the new race. I'm their creator, I control, I transcend. But how does he control them? Does he? DeSantos, I'm so very disappointed in you. A distress signal? I thought we were of one mind here in Seed. I'll castrate and destroy you for this betrayal. Your flawed body is hardly worthy of becoming one of my children, but for now I must turn off this accursed signal. You cannot hide from me, Marvin, you drug-peddling little fuck. Okay, well. Let's go read this other PDA real fast and then we'll stop. Robert Lincoln. I've been reassigned to investigate the disappearance and murder of 2 scientists in the employ of Dr. Milan. A strange matter to be sure. I've been observing the movements of some of these eggheads, and I can't say I'm too impressed. Doesn't anybody around here record their comings or goings, or make any notes? There's no traditional organization in this department whatsoever. Project Seed answers to nobody, this I know, but I thought these scientific types always made notes. Not that I care about admin, but I very much care about finding out who's selling weapons-grade secrets. Industrial secrets are a matter of life and death, especially death in this case. My investigation will be thorough and no stone will be left unturned. Staff here are strange. In fact, I say lots of them are even crazy, but I couldn't care less about that. I just want names and answers. I got this job because I get things done, not because of my warm and caring personality. At the moment, people are taking umbrage to my investigation, but security is a constant and essential part of shipboard life, especially when we're talking about industrial espionage. I'm not sure where the 2 missing scientists are, but it seems, based on the modified records I found, they were killed and ejected into space. Any other man would assume these 2 are criminals, but I don't buy that. As far as suspects go, I've ruled out Charlotte Williams and Marvin DeSantos. Charlotte because she doesn't know where she is half the time, and DeSantos because he's just a smirking shit for brains. I'm confident he's involved in drug dealing, and I will give him this. He's a cautious and acts like he's a real ladies' man. But I know the truth. I've seen him rejected repeatedly at the bar. That's funny. It's kind of funny because I think the person that killed the scientist was Backman? Was Dr. Backman? So it's actually not involved in the espionage. Since July, I've had to operate under the pretense that I'm an assistant. It's lucky in my career I had some emergency room experience. The only other person who knows about my true purpose here is Dr. Milan. He's been encouraging. He constantly supplies me with information that I require for my investigation, and at times is a little over-helpful. Still, he seems honest enough. For the record, I'm well aware of the kind of man Dr. Milan is. I've seen his experiments with my own eyes. I've seen what happens when the bodies are disposed of in the burning fires of the furnaces. But he does what's required to justify the means. There are few men in this world who will do what has to be done. For that, I admire him. He told me to watch over Dr. Williams' experiments. It seems they're unofficial, and although I prepared a report to Kane to have her removed from her position, Dr. Milan immediately overrode my request. I respect him, but to be honest, I don't like having my authority overruled. Backman, of all people, was sniffing around today. It seems the old psychopath suddenly became curious. I asked Dr. Milan for further instructions, and he told me to incapacitate the old man. This I did. A shame I had to break the old guy's kneecaps. Honestly, I was hoping to slit his throat, but Dr. Milan insisted he remain alive. Alive and in pain, but unable to move. I'm revising my earlier opinion of that DeSantos character. I still think he's a pathetic little shit, but now I believe he was partially responsible for some of this stolen information. He strikes me as an amateur put up to this by an outside agent. I'll deal with DeSantos soon, but first I've got to monitor his movements. Make one move, pal, and I'll have you. And that's the other thing. A lot of that stuff, people get caught because they do it multiple times. They don't just do it once and stop. They do it, you know. Dr. Milan has earmarked me for one of his experiments. I know this because when I attempted to leave the ship to report to Kane Corp, I discovered that my access was restricted and blocked. I came back to my quarters and found Milan waiting here. He was waiting with 2 of those hellish critters that he's created. I'm not squeamish, but those things make me nauseous. Nauseous? Nauseous. Whatever. I'm currently waiting what he calls processing. I suppose at this stage I should make peace with God. I've killed many men in my life, and I'll never say I feel remorse for it, and I won't give Dr. Milan the satisfaction of hearing me pray for mercy. My last notes on this affair are Dr. Milan himself is at the heart of the events on board the ship. I was blind to it. I refused to believe he was capable of creating such devastation. I always thought that scientists like control, but Milan breaks all the rules as far as science is concerned. The leaked information of the fungal growth of the missing scientists, I'm beginning to suspect he even knew DeSantos was actually selling intelligence and may have fed him the information to sell. To what end, I don't know. I suspect it was because DeSantos kept Backman drugged to the eyeballs with whatever powerful stimulants he happened to have so Backman could continue his work. I can hear the machines being turned on. I welcome my fate. At least I know I did my job for Kane Corporation. I mean, so this is him? Well, let's stop here. Alright guys, that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for your time and attention. Really do appreciate it. Really hope you guys are enjoying these episodes. My throat's a little bit raw. I don't know where we go from here. There's still at least one more door that, on the opposite side from the airlock that's blocked by those lasers. But I don't know what you do about that. I'm probably gonna have to use the guide again, so we'll see. But, you know, I'm losing my mind. I don't remember if I thank you guys for your time and attention, but thank you. I hope you guys are enjoying these episodes. As always, questions, comments, concerns, good, bad, or different, let me hear them. I try and read all of them. I try and respond to all of them. What is your guys' unique positive moment for today? For me, I guess I'm going to go with... I picked up some slide kitty litter, the Arm & Hammer slide stuff. Manny's been peeing a lot lately, so I'm pretty sure that last trip to the vet stressed him out to the point where now he has diabetes. But my local store stopped selling the slide for a minute, and then I grabbed the regular clump and seal or whatever, and that's just not good enough. Because it turns into like clay just because of the volume of it. You know? The slide stuff actually hardens, and when it's in the litter robot, the globe spins, and it's way better. It's just way better. So I'm glad that I got some of that. So I'm going to start mixing that into what's there, so that at least, because it's throwing off the globe, because it like sticks to the side of it, and the weight trips up the globe. It's just a pain. So finally got some of that. That's my unique positive moment. Hopefully your guys just as good, if not better. Hopefully better, of course. And I hope to see you guys next time. Till then, guys, take care.